Well, you made it. We have made it to the last week of the series, so give yourselves a hand right now. Go ahead and do it as a group. Hey, so proud of all of you. We've walked through the series. We've talked about the importance of the story that God wants us to tell. And with all of our stories, there's one key element that is true for all of us, and that is that our stories are stories that are told that at times have seasons when there's great stability and seasons of great celebration, but all of us within our stories have stories of challenge and stories of difficulty, and maybe stories of loss, and stories when God is shaping and redefining our character, and more than anything, just beginning to trust. I love the story that you're about to hear. It's a story of Megan and Kendra, and you're going to hear from their moms, Jewel and Christy, as well. And it's a story that I told a few weeks ago that I never finished on a Sunday morning. It's a story of how God intervened at a really profound moment in the life of Kendra, but how he used Megan and her family and used a group of us coming around and just praying for Kendra in that moment. And as a result, I know her trust has increased in God. Megan's trust has increased in God, and certainly Jewel and Christy's has as well, as has mine. I pray this evening that as you listen to their story, that your heart would be even more open to trusting God with the deepest need that you may be faced with, and giving God the room to work in and through your life. And so here's their story.
Hi, we're here today to talk with you a little bit about trust. We've had our struggles throughout the years with our children, and we've been faced with a lot of issues and times, and we had to trust. And so we're going to share a little bit of our story that happened this past spring. Kendra was approaching the end of her senior year along with her two brothers. It was a difficult time in the sense that she had been told many times that she would not graduate. And she had to continue to fight along the way to prove everybody wrong. And of course, May came along, and we were not only looking at that she was going to get a diploma, which we knew she was able to do, but that what lies ahead for Kendra and where was she going with her future. And so we knew that she was going to attend Ivy Tech, but we didn't know where she was going to live and what that was going to look like. We had to start looking into group homes, and group homes are maybe not the place that you want to think to send your kid off to. So I was very unsure of what to do. Kendra was very much in a lot of stress. She had gotten so bad that her hair was falling out. And after many appointments trying to figure out what was happening, basically it came down to that it was just simply stress. The stress of graduating, the stress of her brothers going off to Texas for school, and the stress of what did her future look like and where would she be living. Many people ask me, well, why were you moving her away from your home? It was not an easy decision to make, and I just had to do this for her. She needed the chance to grow and have the resources at home to care for her when I was at work. And so my only option was to find a group home. One night after church, we were just talking, and Pastor Ron came up, and he made the mistake of asking Kendra how she was. And she instantly fell apart, which I knew was going to happen. And so then we proceeded with, he just talked to her and tried to figure out what was happening in our lives at that moment.
When we came up to that Saturday night and we saw you guys at church Saturday night, and Kendra and Pastor Ron talking, I didn't really know what was going on until that point. And when I saw how upset Kendra was, we kind of pulled aside and talked about what was happening, and cried, and it really touched my heart. I went home and prayed about it. I thought about it constantly. I couldn't get it off my mind. When God places something on your heart and he has a job for you to do, even though that job seems like a large job, like a hard job, sometimes God doesn't call you to do the easy thing. He calls you to do what he needs done at the time. And that just really seemed like something that we could make happen in our home. Of course, Brian and I were talking. He knew I was burdened by, just the fact that I felt like there were things that we could do. Got to looking at the basement, saw a place where we could build a wall. So we built a wall in our basement to make another bedroom for Kendra. Her mom came over and painted it, and they fixed it all up, and so it was just gorgeous and waiting on her. And it's just been awesome to watch God's hand in all of it and how He's put us all together. I think it was meant to be. I just think it was one of those leaps of faith and trust that we are no strangers to. Yes. Our life road has taken us down many paths where we've had to fully trust, fully lean hard on God and what He's doing in our life, and know that it is going to be okay. Our life might look different at some times, but
quite a bit different. How many wheelchairs can you fit in a van at one time?
Right. And we just keep going. We sometimes might look like a clown car, but it's wheelchairs coming out.
Wheelchairs, big deal.
But, it's one of those things where I think it's been a great blessing to both of us. I think for both of us to have our independence as well. And, some people, when I tell them that we took another handicapped young lady into our house, some people look at me like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Well, I felt God put that in front of us. And I felt like to run from what God is asking you to do never works out well for me. I don't know about you, but it never works out well for me. So I always hit those things head on and chin up. And then I really think the key is to hear how the girls have all handled this and what their thoughts were. And they have been incredibly strong and incredibly flexible and movable on this too. So I think that their piece in all of this is very, very important.
Hi, I'm Kendra Homer. I've been going to Pathway for 4 years, and this is my story.
Hi, I'm Megan Leatherman, and I've been attending Pathway for 5 years.
Well, if anybody's told you that senior year's easy, they're wrong. It was a very difficult season in my life, not only trying to prove myself that I could graduate, but to prove that to deal with where am I going to end up, what am I going to do, like all these things go in your head when you're thinking about stuff. And what people don't realize is you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to this college when you have a disability. You have to plan it out and make sure you have like a plan on who's gonna take care of you, what you're gonna do. I was stressing out so bad that I was deteriorating. And just having them open up their doors, I can't tell you how grateful I am for them, because they helped they answered my prayers. What was it like when you are an answer to someone's prayer? Like my prayer.
Well, I actually felt really good. I felt like I was an answer I was answering God, and I was doing the things that we were supposed to do. Like, we're supposed to take care of people and love people, and that's what we were made to do. That's in the Bible. So, and my thing is, why not? Why not? Well, I definitely prayed a lot. I also have a couple verses that I run through my head. My mom's verse, the one that she said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And 1 Peter 5:7. I do those a lot just to keep my mind pure and like kind of fully understand what God wants me to do and help be strong.
I've learned so much because I've learned without God, I wouldn't be who I am today. Like, my faith is everything to me, and so even when I was doubting Him for like pretty much the whole school year, He always showed me like this. You will be taken care of. And so, like, I had to trust that I will be taken care of. We will turn this over to the host, and now it's your turn to talk about trusting in God.
I really do hope that you were moved by that story, and that as a result of it, God's going to use that in your life to really take you to some places that He has for you, and that you'll just trust Him through that journey as well. And also, over these past few weeks, we've asked you to do your Serve project, and by now you've done it or you're about to complete it. And if you haven't completed it yet, we just want to challenge you: finish the project together. Finish the project together. And if you have, make sure you report back on what happened in the project. And think about that. Think about even how that Serve project might even be working into your story that God wants you to tell. And so I just want to commend you for staying with it. I trust that if you're in a group of people that you like, that maybe you would consider staying together in this small group and continue to allow these relationships to build and to be nurtured, and to allow God to use them in your life to deepen your walk with Him. So we'll see you later.